A piece of paper real quick, here. I'll hold it down.
Alright, you guys are really quiet. There's a couple of people in here who are ready to try these on their own. You need to be quiet while those people try it.
Just a moment.
There's a pencil right there in that red cup. If I can get it back.
I'm sure we're fine.
Alright, here's the things that you should know now. Now, if you don't know these square roots, you do have access to a calculator, but breaking down these radicals is difficult if you don't know these ones. Okay? So I am continually writing these lists, putting them on the board to help it become familiar to you, though you really need to write it and familiarize yourself with it. Okay? So you're going to use this list for numbers 1 through 5, not number 6. Number 6, you cannot use this list. So your mission on number 1 is to rewrite 40 using some number on the list. Some number that can square root. Do you have a question or an answer? Okay. Okay. Let's hear it. Yeah, you can write already simplified. Do you hear that? Sarah, you had that same question. You can write already simplified if there's nothing you can do with it. You asked me a few minutes ago. Already simplified. It has to be like radicals. So it has to have the same number under the radical bar. So simplify them first. Simplify first. It's definitely a challenge there. So Ashlyn, were you able to figure anything out for 40, number 1? Perfect. That's it. 4 and 10. 40 is the same as 4 times 10. So I'm going to rewrite it as the square root of 4 times the square root of 10. That's good. And I know what the square root of 4 is. The square root of 4 is 2. So I'm actually going to square root that. The square root of 10 is a decimal. So it's going to stay 10. Megan, why don't you move?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know where at all. But maybe right there behind Ramsey, I'll try. My goal is to get you to stop laughing. Okay? Try to do some math in class. We'll see how it goes. When I look at 10, I look at 10 divided by 9, this 10 divided by 4, this 10, no, 10 stuff. 10 stuff. Yesterday, most of the numbers that were stuck were 2s. And this time, a 10 is stuck underneath.
That's all I was doing. I just asked. Okay, I'll just ask. It's been a minute since I've seen that one. Well, get it out to the bathroom.
All right, number 2. 30. Jigger. 30. Does 30 divide by 25?
No.
16. Does 30 divide by 9? 30 divide by 4? I might check my calculator for 30 doesn't divide by 4.
Not until it's
So 30 doesn't divide by any of these numbers that square root. So for 30, we're going to write already simplified.
Travis, I think that's enough. Life is a roller coaster, I guess. What if it all of it?
Number 3. All right, we're building upon this idea of simplest radical form. Yesterday, we just introduced operations with radicals, and this is subtracting radicals. Must be the same radical to add or subtract. So I'm kind of stuck here. I can't add or subtract them right now because I have the square root of 2, the square root of 18. Can't do it. What you have to do is simplify first. Think about this number, can it simplify? Think about this number, can it simplify? So 2 doesn't simplify. 2 is one that's always stuck under the radical. We've been seeing that a lot. That 18 can probably be broken down. I look at the list. Does 18 divide by 16? No. Does 18 divide by 9? Yes. So I'm going to rewrite 18, and I'm going to write it the square root of 9 times the square root of 2, because that's the same as 18. So you got to know the square root of 9. If you can't recognize that, then this is an impossible task. But over time, you will get it. Over time. So what's the square root of 9? 3. So 18 is the same as 3 square root 2. So now we have the same radical. This is 4 square root 2 minus 3 square root 2. And that leaves us with 1 square root 2. Now typically, we don't write a 1 in front. You don't. This answer is the square root of 2. All right, on 4, I'm going to pause for a minute. I want you to simplify, simplify, simplify. Try to simplify one or all of these on your own. You finished square root? You know to do the 25? We actually did the square root of 72 yesterday. Yesterday's bell work or notes. You can look at yesterday's to see what that one is. I'm pretty sure we also did 8. So we've done those already. Yep. You can't find it?
Oh, we did, Travis?
Just go, you know what? Second time around, you get it.
I knew that.
You ready to go? You ready to sit it? To do the problem? That's good. That's why we do it more than once. I'm gonna call on Kendon. Here we go. We got the square root of 25. 72. All right, Kendon, what should we do with the 25? Yes, and what will it be? All right. The square root of 25 is 5. Colton, you know that one. Did you turn the first one into 5? All right. So this is like baseline walking in here from pre-algebra. Okay? Now, 72 is more difficult because 72 isn't any integer squared. So now I will grab a calculator. And I'm going to try to divide 72 by any of these numbers under this radical bar. Does 72 divide by 49? I got a decimal. Do you guys have calculators? Get your tool out. Unless you're a pro at multiplication, get your tool out. Even if you are a pro, even the pros are using these. Get your tool out. Get your tool out. Everybody's allowed to use a calculator. All right. So 72 doesn't divide by 49. Does 72 divide by 36? Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
72 divides by 36.
Oh, wow.
In the last 2 days, I've said that 4 times. 4 times we've done that. Can you remember it yet? That's 72 divided by 36. 4 times. 72 will divide by 36. Okay? It's 36 times 2. So I'm going to rewrite this as 36 times 2. And what's the square root of 36? 6. That's baseline. You're supposed to walk in here first day and be able to square root 36. So this is 6 square root 2. The 5 is still there. Let's deal with the 8. Now, the square root of 8 is a decimal. Does 8 divide by 4? Yes, it does. 8 divides by 4. So I'm going to rewrite 8 using this number. It's all about the numbers in this list. This is the square root of 4 times the square root of 2. Okay, so the square root of 4 is 2. The minus sign's in the middle. How we doing? Too much? I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you guys. This is number 1 and 2. That's probably like a level 3 on an exam. Like a pretty good job. Level 3, that's high level 3, level 4. Right here, this is for our level 5s in the room. It's a 3-step process, 4-step process. Okay? So listen, don't get frustrated if this one's too much for you. Still try to get done the more simple ones. It's all important. It's all important. Okay? Yeah. All right. So now I have like radicals right here. This is 6 square roots of 2 minus 2 square roots of 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. And there's still a 5 out front. I see students in Algebra 2 getting this wrong, even after passing algebra, even after passing geometry. They're going to go ahead and add the 5 and the 4. You can't. You can only combine like radicals. If this doesn't have that little square root of 2 next to it, it can't be added. This is the final answer. So listen, did I answer your question yet?
So 6, would you do like 2 times the radical times the radical? Like written out that way?
No, just 2 times the first one. Yeah, 2 times 2, yeah. All right, so that was a tough one. That had 3. There was a lot going on in that one. Number 5. You may. You definitely may. What's different about number 5? Number 5 is different than all the rest. Yes.
They both do not have no listening and you can't divide by nothing.
Yeah, they're already simplified. They're in simplest form. That's very good. What else is different about number 5? It's multiplication. You can multiply anything. So with adding and subtracting, it has to be like radicals. Multiplication, it doesn't. This is the square root of 300.
Oh, wow. Well, that saved a lot of work.
Yeah. I think that it's very difficult in 1 week to practice adding, subtracting, and multiplying. I think that's a lot for you guys to try to organize. But this is the task set for you. We simplified, subtracted, added, subtracted, all of a sudden, boom, multiplication done. You can multiply anything. You need like radicals. Go ahead and multiply. I got to reduce it now. Does 300 divide by any of these? Actually, yeah, the best one's not up there. We're pretty good. The best one for 300 is not up here. I cut it short. 10 squared is 100. So I want to make this 300. I'm not going to cover it, but you can look at it. It's in the 9.1. If you look, there should be a couple of examples. But it's talked about a lot in algebra. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like this. I'm gonna break it down. The square root of 3 times the square root of 100. Did you put the 3 in the bar?
Like, and
Yeah. Did you do the 3 like that?
no.
Yeah.
I put the 3 and then I put the radical sign.
Yeah. The 3's got to stay. So I'm just rewriting it right now. And this is interesting because the 100 can become 10. Oh. And the square root of 3 is here. So put it in order. The 10 goes first. This is 10 square root 3.
But so you just basically moved the 10 over.
Yeah, I put it first.
Got it.
Oh my lord.
Alright, number 6. Number 6 is also different from the rest. What's special about number 6?
It has a 3.
Oh wow.
We got cube roots. Cube roots.
Ow!
I know my cube roots. So here we go. Know my cube roots. Ain't no purple marker anymore. Okay. Alright, I know that I can cube root 1. I know I can cube root 8. I know I can cube root 27. I know I can cube root 64. I know I can cube root 125. I know I can cube root 216. I know I can cube root 343. I know I can cube root 512. I know I can cube root 729. And then what do you guys think the cube root of 1000 is? 10. 3 guesses, everybody. It's 10. Woo! 10 times 10
All right, now.
times 10 is 1000. Alright, so since we got a little 3 here, we got to use our cube root list. I just threw this one in here as another challenge. Shoot, that didn't have to be too hard. You guys want to skip it?
Yeah.
Let's skip it. I'm going to show the word, but if you want to skip it, you can. Just out what I was thinking.
Oh,
Yeah, that must be a little low because my brain's not.
No,
this is a 5.
This is a lot. Here it is. Here it is, honey. That's right. Sorry, that move's too loud. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Oh no.
I should have just done the 81 and then not done anything else. The cube root 81. When a number is just right in front, like this, there is an invisible multiplication dot. It's not addition, it's multiplication. It's not Yep.
Man.
Alright, so
Let me stop just thinking about stuff that hurt.
alright, we're gonna switch to some notes.
Actually,
Alright guys, we are moving all the way to 9.3. 9.1 to 9.3. My bad. Thank you. 9.2.
That's pretty. I was in the same classroom, girl. Better problem for Jay. Well, actually, he got nothing left.
Wait, do we put this on the same page or a different? You can do it on the same page too, Pam. That's okay. We're gonna take a few notes. We're gonna solve 3 problems, and then you're gonna do homework. You got 3 more problems in you?
Maybe.
I have like 2. Plus, and that's plus the book. So it's 2 and the book. So we'll see.
Alright, so the whole reason we've been doing this is to solve equations. So, Kenyon, you
No.
remember the... You guys remember the parabola? Right? Every parabola equation was x squared. Okay, you remember the parabola. The U-shaped graph that we drew? We talked about the vertex, the axis of symmetry. Remember the window and we would multiply it out? Remember the factoring where we said what multiplies the last number and adds to the middle number? Okay, we're still in that. Okay, we just took a little break to talk about square roots. The whole reason we took a little break to talk about square roots was to solve these quadratics. Okay? So, I encourage you to read chapter 9.3 and look at the examples on your own. Okay? Encourage you to do that. All right. Romani, could you tell me the answer to number 1? Everybody in here knows the answer to number 1. What is it, everybody? 3. 7. Okay. If x squared equals 9, then x had better be 3. X is 3. Megan, do you know what 3 times 3 is? 9. So if x squared equals 9, colon, look. If x squared equals 9, what does x have to be? 3. Okay? Simple. Winter, there's another answer here. What's the other answer? 3's there. What's the other answer?
9. 18.
What?
8? No. Yeah, 18 because you could divide it by 2.
Or x equals negative 3.
But you said
Oh, because the negative times the negative is a positive.
Negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 1.
With an answer at 3 and negative 3. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Alright. The problem comes into play though when the number is more complicated than 9. Okay, it's very rarely going to be so easy that I can say, what is it? Oh, 3 squared is 9. It's going to be some random number that we can't figure out. So there is a process into figuring out x. Yeah. So here's your step. Wow, 4 steps. I'm going to rewrite this as you write it to make it more neat.
That's so sweet.
Alright, here's our steps for chapter 9.3. Step 1, isolate x squared. You could just write that if you don't want to write everything. Step 1, isolate x squared. The way we do that is by moving any terms to the other side. Okay? Move things around so x squared is alone. Usually cancel out. Okay, let me just write that down again. Seems like an important note.
What's that? Mm.
Yeah, what was it? Alright, after you isolate, you square root both sides. So we're literally going to write a square root bar on both sides, and that's because the square root of x squared is x.
This is not no Halloween.
Tell me, how did you get all the way there?
Hey, JR.
Just please.
Establish to recline back to where he came from.
No, JR, I'm telling you to stop. No, stop talking to him. Don't. This is what matters to you in your future, not him. So the reason you'd have to remember a plus and minus sign is because the answer could be both at positive 3 and at negative 3. So we summarize that with this symbol. It's a stacked plus sign over a minus sign. This is stacked. A plus sign over a minus sign. And that's because x squared equals 9. It can have a plus 3 or a minus 3. So this is how I would actually show the work for that. You guys are able to do that mental math. But this is the work I would show. I'd write a square root bar. And my answer would look like this. X is positive 3 or negative 3. You use a plus or minus sign. And that's the same as x equals 3, x equals negative 3. It's just we don't want to write them both, so we stack it. Okay? And then lastly, when it's possible, you have to simplify the radical. This last step is what we've been working on for 3 days. Simplify when possible. So the whole reason we've been simplifying is for the last step of solving. It's just one little step of solving. Well, because if you just wrote that, it would just appear negative. You could, yeah, you can do that. But I want you to recognize this as you get higher in math. This is how it's going to be typed in textbooks.
So it's
They're going to move it in.
So you made it shorter?
Yeah, shorthand.
That's easier.
2 answers, the positive and the negative. Yeah. So that would get pretty complicated. All right, here's we'll do these. We have 3 examples, and I'm done. Done everything again. And then you're going to use your book. Hey, I can go back. You're not ready? I can go back.
Oh.
Does anybody else want a picture? These are the steps I'm going to be using to solve some problems. But I can totally wait if there's people in the room writing this down still. Just trying to figure out. Thought maybe we were done. Here we go. Alright, so step 1 was to isolate x squared. So first I have to see x squared. See it. It's next to a 3 and it's next to a 27. I have to get that x squared alone. So I'm going to draw my line and I'm going to add 27 to the other side. Jigger, this is it. You're going to do 2 problems. This is one of them. Yeah, this one. What I'm doing right now. Yeah. I realized I meant to tell you. So let me just erase this right over here. All right. You were writing on your Jigger. All right, write it down. Number 3. All right. Okay, so this is going to make it 3x squared equals 27. We have to write the example. I recommend it, but some people can't even see up here. Okay, so my next step into getting that x squared alone is to divide by 3. Put the line in, divide by 3. Arrow over. And now x squared equals 9. So what is x? 3 or negative 3. The next step is to square root both sides. And x is plus and minus 3.
My Lord.
Oh.
You
Oh. Oh, my bad. It's just when you reacted. Because I feel like me and Renee had the same reaction in that one.
I'm going to skip this one.
because I guess Travis think he Batman,
Did anybody write number 3
but
yet? Well, you change this to a 2. This is a 2. You already fixed it. You already done it. What'd you write?
No.
I really want to do it with the 2. I really want to. Yeah, it's bad like that. Let's do it with the 2.
It's negative. It's
Yeah.
not possible.
Not possible. Who's ready for number 3? One person. Are you ready? Ashlyn, are you ready?
girl.
Hey, Travis, you want to do 3? Here's the x squared. What do I have to do to get it alone?
Nothing. It's already alone.
No, well, this is the line.
Mine
Oh
is
my
2.
Lord.
Let's minus the 2.
How do you know that? Well, I knew that, but I thought she meant like something in front of it.
Oh, but x squared equals 8. 8 is not so simple. 9 I totally got.
4.
8 divided by 2 is 4, but that's not what 8 square root is. So now I have to really rely on that radical bar. I'm going to square root both sides.
2.824.
No decimals. So the square root bar cancels out the power of 2. These 2 things cancel. So this and this cancel. And now we have x equals plus or minus the square root of 8.
Oh,
Don't forget the plus or minus sign.
what if
We want to, we don't want decimals, but we have to, this is step 4, simplest radical form.
But what if we solve it with the numbers?
Yeah, that we have to. So what would you do with the 8?
Like, divide by 4.
Yep.
Then
So this is
Have you seen my ever say that again in your whole entire life? Please. You're okay, aggravating.
This is what we've been working on for 3 days, so you can do this problem right here and finish it correctly.
You aggravating. Do your work. You have
2 times the square root of 2 is
What?
so square root 2 and get the decimal. Now multiply it by 2. Oh, you already did. Okay. So now we're looking at a parabola. Instead of it in the real world, our parabolas don't land exactly on integers. It's a decimal. Mhm. The what decimal does it give you? 2.8. It doesn't go forever? Or are you rounding it? So it goes forever. It doesn't repeat. There's no pattern. It's like pi. It's called irrational. So when it comes to engineering and architecture, they never write that decimal down. They keep it in its true form so that it's the most precise and exact. As soon as you write the decimal down, it's not as accurate. So we get in the practice now of keeping it in radical form because that's what's best in the engineering, science, all the sciences. All right, last one. You don't all have to do it.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Add 10, add 10, x squared equals 0, square root, x is plus or minus 0, so x is 0. Alright, so we have 9 minutes, and we're not going to get on Chromebooks. You're going to open a textbook, and you're going to work on paper, and you're going to be quiet, and I'm just going to take points
Wait,
off
what?
for any noise. Okay.
Page 825.
825, 1 through 14.
This is right there. Lord. I can't even get up my back. Making that noise. Two more readings in this whole class. I don't know what. Lord. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I got her 17. Right. I for you to watch. I was it's so 27. 27. Wait.
Page 825, 1 to 14.
My Lord.
There's a bunch of no solutions in here.
Good. That's all that works.
Yeah. How'd you know? You know that?
Because the 12 and 3 and then
Yeah, number 7. Number 7 is no solution too. Actually, I think the term's going to end at 0.
Hmm.
I see what you're saying, but because when I subtract 9, and a negative gets squared to 0, you could actually divide by -1 and 0 to
So 0.
Number 7 is no solution.
Wait, number 2 is no solution? Right. Any idea why? It's negative. You can't square root a negative. 6 squared would be positive 36. Negative 6 squared would be positive 36. That situation does not exist.
Makes number 11
Also no solution. Right, there are some tricks in here. I'm seeing that. A lot of zeros.
My lord, you're so loud.
Thanks for the story.
Any idea about 5? We were just discussing 5 up here. Can you see it okay? It's too small.
Would 6 be no solution?
Hold up, we're talking about 5. We're talking about 5. Yeah. What are your thoughts about 5? The answer is 4 and what? 4 negative 4. Or negative 4. She's got her hand. You want to know about 6?
5.
No solution.
No solution.
5. I think. He's smart. And he wants to be.
Yeah. Let me show her. First, I would
Mommy.
add 16 over,
Actually, don't answer that.
and I get x squared is 16.
Oh, yeah.
Are you with me there? And then I'm going to square root both sides. And this gives me x is plus or minus 4. That's the real word how much she's showing. This one? Yes, it is.
There's a lot of questions. I'm done.
I mean, you know that math is kind
No
of
solution.
easy.
No forwards.
Oh, wow.
I might use a calculator to check 169. It's a very high number.
We about to.